Hey, it's CVV, Chris Van Vliet, and you have to check out the fastest rising podcast in all of professional wrestling. I'm talking about the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. If you're looking for pay-per-view predictions, if you're looking for pay-per-view reviews, if you're looking for interviews, check out the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. Crash and Burn!
Podcast where we're talking about Hell in a Cell 2009, since apparently Hell in a Cell is in June, apparently, instead of October, but it's still Hell in a Cell, you know. We can't keep it like truly in October, even though it's annually held in October. But this year they're switching out the pay-per-view calendar. So let's bring everybody in to the Crash and Burn podcast, the fastest wrestling podcast. It's all professional. Well, if I can fucking speak, but oh well.
Can you speak? I was about to say, can you speak? And who's everybody? Is there an invisible person here?
Yeah, well, but not you, Wyatt. You're here.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you live around the planet Earth.
It's late at night for us, so that's why I can't speak today.
Yeah. Hell in a Cell is tomorrow. It's so weird to have it in June. We decided that we would review the first ever annual actual Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I actually decided to request that pay-per-view. It was a pretty darn good card. Pretty good matches. I really enjoyed. I just got done watching it. I thought it was pretty damn amazing. I can't wait to review it. And I really enjoyed the theme song, which is Monster by Skillet. Definitely a good song to have is the theme song of the pay-per-view. And Jason, let's get the referee to ring the bell and we get ourselves underway and get the matches rolling.
Let's get the matches rolling. And bear with us here because it's late at night, so if we cannot speak, then that's why, alright?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so this match is actually my favorite match, the World Heavyweight Championship match. Hell in a Cell match, The Undertaker defeated CM Punk for that title. Wow, I actually enjoyed that match. It was a good killer start to the show, and The Undertaker and CM Punk put on a hell of a storyline, hell of a rivalry in this wrestling match. So, yeah, it's a great start. I don't know what else to say, except it's a good storyline and a good match. And inside the cage structure. Wyatt.
I'm gonna tell you, I actually fucking enjoyed that match. You know, definitely. I thought it was kind of weird to see Undertaker's matches it's the first fight of the show, but definitely incredible storyline. I definitely loved how Punk and Taker brawled each other outside the ring before they got in the cell, and definitely liked how Punk performed that dive and shit. That was definitely one of my favorite moments throughout that match. And definitely the storyline upon that, you know, Undertaker was next in line to fight Punk for the title ever since Punk got Jeff Hardy out of WWE because Jeff's contract expired back in August 2009, and that got to Jeff leaving the company. And then that led to them having a match at Breaking Point, which that was a screw job, which Undertaker did not tap out to Punk that night, which you could call it the Montreal screw job 2.0 because that pay-per-view was in Montreal, but this pay-per-view is in Newark, New Jersey. The build up to it, you know, is Undertaker Teddy Long screwed over the Undertaker, and Teddy went in the limo, and then Undertaker was in there, and then had Teddy trapped, and then weeks later, and then Teddy was in a casket, and then Punk was whacking a chair at it, and then Teddy got out and said, "You are going to be defending that title against The Undertaker inside the Hell in a Cell, player." And then that
you get to go one-on-one with The Undertaker. Holla, 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 player.
Yeah. And as you could see, when Undertaker was performing that tombstone on the Punk, literally you could see Punk's leg moving in the tombstone pile driver when Undertaker was making that pin. But definitely incredible match. If you didn't all I'm saying is if you don't agree with me, I'm sorry. I think that match was just fucking awesome.
It was fucking awesome for sure.
Like, I love Punk, I love Taker, so
I love them. They're talented. Anyways, next one. John Morrison defeated Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship. Wyatt.
Yeah, I definitely thought the match was, it actually helped me of like how the wrestlers interact in the ring, like when they have matches against each other. Like, I feel like it's helped me take my notes. Like, I could see like Morrison talking to Ziggler about what move like they're gonna perform next and stuff. But both men have went back and forth. I think they really, really had a good performance. About a lot of reversing into the match, a lot of chemistry. It's like Morrison tries to shoot the Starship Pain and Ziggler gets out of it, and like Ziggler tries to put Morrison in a zigzag, and I just really thought they put some good moves onto each other. Like, and I just think Morrison was the guy to win that match, and yeah, don't much to say, but I feel like it's kind of helped to me and understand more of the in-ring psychology these wrestlers have. Like, the way like they interacted in the ring.
I agree with you. Yeah,
I always liked Morrison. I think I actually thought Morrison looked good with the Intercontinental title in 2009.
It's very fitting for him.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, aside from that, I enjoyed the match. It was a great storyline. It was Mickie James defeated Alicia Fox for the Divas Championship, or Wyatt.
Mickie James is my favorite woman wrestler of all time. I don't have much to say about that, but Alicia Fox was the number one contender for the Divas title. But definitely, solid fight. Not much to say. It's just, Mickie James retained, and she's my all-time favorite woman wrestler. So, not much to say on that.
Yeah, not much to say on this, but it was a solid match. Anyways, Jericho, Big Show, and Chris Jericho defeated Batista, Rey Mysterio for the unified WWE Tag Team titles. So yeah, it was a great match. I enjoyed the tag team with Big Show and Chris Jericho back then from when I first saw them, and I thought they worked well together, a great chemistry. I know they're both in AEW right now, but they worked well back then. And Batista, Rey Mysterio, props to them for a good fight. Wyatt.
Yeah, that was actually a very good tag team match. I think they really killed it out there. Definitely, I think Jericho actually had a very very underrated, forgettable theme song. I thought they really had it was like Jericho's theme, like in a metal version, adding Big Show's name into it. But Batista and Rey Mysterio, they were trying to relive histories when they had the tag team titles back in 2005 and all. But that match was leading to Batista's heel turn at bragging rights that year. So definitely figured that Batista and Rey Mysterio were actually going to lose that match. They all went back and forth, but it's so weird seeing the babyface team having more tags than the heel team. Jericho really barely tagged the Big Show in that match. Batista and Rey were literally tagging each other throughout the entire fight. And the way it finished off, when Rey jumped off the ropes and the Big Show just knocked him out cold, and that led to the Jericho retaining. But definitely, it's so weird seeing Big Show in a purple singlet. No cap.
Okay, up next, Randy Orton defeated John.
All four guys are great legends.
For sure. Next match, Randy Orton defeated John Cena in the Hell in a Cell match for the WWE Championship. Wyatt, go ahead.
You knew I was gonna go first on that. I just want to tell you, I just fucking love that fight. So we're not seeing Rhodes and DiBiase not interfere in that because you had the legacy at the
Hey, the legacy.
But I'm gonna tell you, I just fucking enjoyed that match. You know, it's just when Orton and Cena were brawling outside the ring, throwing the steel stabs, you know, choking the shit out of each other. Just it was kind of funny, like how the match ended is like when Orton tangled Cena on the ropes, and you know, you did have like Orton like throw, and then after like Cena got loose on the ropes, fell down face first on the floor. Orton hits the punt, and then Orton hits the 3 count and makes the dub. But I definitely thought that was I thought it was a fucking great. The build-up was but it was, yeah, I remember like them being on Raw and like Orton like got trapped inside the cell, and then Orton left the cell and climbed up, and Cena climbed up with him, and Cena gave him an AA on top of the cell before the pay-per-view. And I remember they had a match at Breaking Point, but it starts to feel like that they had like with the title, they've like flip-flopped it a little bit from like SummerSlam to Breaking Point to Hell in a Cell. But I just feel like I'm very tickled to see Randy beat Cena. I actually forgot that Randy actually won that fight, to be honest with you. And if anyone didn't know, Cena and Orton did actually have had a match inside the cell more than once. Like they've had a match inside the cell in 2014, but that was a number 1 contenders match, not a world title match. But I'm telling you, it's just a match. You know, it's just them two is definitely one of my favorite rivalries growing up, and definitely the classic rivalry. But this match, slapped. Fuck yeah.
This match slapped for real. It was a great match. So one of my favorite matches of the night, along with the World Heavyweight Title match. And yeah, it's just freaking great. Yeah. Up next, Drew McIntyre defeated R-Truth in a normal singles match. Wyatt.
Yeah, definitely. That was like the fresh start of Drew McIntyre. R-Truth has always been entertaining. R-Truth's always had the same
character. This was his first run, I believe.
That was his first pay-per-view he's ever fought in.
Yeah, and his first run in the company, I believe.
Yeah, it was his first run. But definitely with Drew, though, like, I think, like, Drew back in, like, 2009 and 2010, I thought that was the better version of Drew McIntyre, in my honest opinion. I know a lot of people are going to really disagree with me on that, but I just think Drew, at the back time, Drew had a better personality for himself. You know,
he was young.
Was like, you know, Drew had the Scottish blood in him, and I just feel like Drew had a better personality at the time. But definitely, you know, the match was like 6 minutes, and, you know, Drew was going to have a quick fight because, you know, this was his rise.
It was actually 4 minutes, 38 seconds.
Yeah. You know, Drew was smelling to get that Drew was just getting that smell of that Intercontinental Championship on the table. And I feel like that was a way to kick off Drew's first run.
This match was solid. That's all I have to say. I'm keeping that short.
Super solid.
Super solid match. Kofi Kingston defeated Jack Swagger and The Miz in a triple threat match for the WWE United States Championship. Go ahead, Wyatt.
I actually thought the match was alright. Definitely 3 of the best mid-carders in 2009 with Kofi, Swagger, and The Miz. It's just hard to believe. Still crazy that Kofi and Miz are still here with WWE. I think it's great. You know, I don't like Kofi now, but Kofi at the time was better. But really, Kofi always looked good with that U.S. title. But I definitely enjoyed the promo Miz cut. Like going there saying that he wished he'd get banned from Newark, New Jersey, and that he was gonna walk out as U.S. champ and then walk out of Newark, which did not happen. But definitely, you know, they all went all around there, and definitely the way the match ended, it went from a gut wrench powerbomb by Swagger, Trouble in Paradise, and that led to Kofi pinning The Miz. But not much to say on that match. It was just a very solid all around triple threat match. with a high flyer, a normal wrestler, and a normal typed wrestler, and a brawling and a lighter powerhouse, to be exact. So that's all I'm gonna say on that.
It was a match
Chemistry.
that existed.
Oh,
A solid storyline. I enjoyed the match. It was pretty good.
well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I'm glad I enjoyed it too. This last match, inside the Hell in a Cell structure. This is your main event of the evening. Crash and Burn. This is your main event of the evening, scheduled for one fall. Why? Do you want to finish it off?
Making their ways to the rings. First, two second-generation superstars, the sons of Million Dollar Man and Ted DiBiase, and Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, making their way to the ring. The team representing the Legacy, the team of Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase, and their opponents, the team of the Game, Triple H, and the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, D-Generation X.
Yes, D-Generation X came here to the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast.
Two teams are colliding inside Hell in a Cell.
And Jason Bailey and Wyatt here on the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. We'll be talking about the match. Wyatt, Mr. Wyatt, how about you kick it off, good sir?
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was just so weird and funny, like to see like when DX was making their entrance, like Legacy, Cody and Ted attacked them from behind, beat the shit out of Triple H and Shawn Michaels throughout the entire match. You'd beat up Triple H, and Triple H was on the stage. And, they locked out Triple H as Shawn Michaels was in the cell all by himself. And that led to them both kicking his ass. And Shawn, had nowhere to go throughout the fight. And, they did everything to get out on him until then. Triple H tried everything he could to break inside the cell. And then Triple H had some pliers, which Triple H was successful to get, and then he broke the chain loose, and then Triple H gets inside the cell, and then throws out Ted DiBiase, and then that got payback and revenge, and then they finished the job by beating the shit out of Cody. But it was a very long-term storyline when they had their match at SummerSlam, had their match at Breaking Point at their Submissions Count Anywhere match. And then there they were. They make the final showdown in Hell in a Cell. Very deep, I thought they had a no-right rivalry, in my opinion. You had two young-blooded stars making their rise at WWE as they had their dads who had success back in the 20th century. But definitely a match. Definitely definitely a very off-cell match, in my opinion. But, DX was the way to end it off, and that's all I'm going to say for that match.
Well, for the main event for Hell in a Cell, I thought it was a pretty good match, a pretty solid way to end off the show. Great storylines with two great tag teams in the business. So, yeah, I enjoyed it, and my rating...
Former tag teams.
Okay, well, my rating for the show, I'll give this a 9 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed most of it. If it wasn't for the Drew R-Truth match, it was good, but it could have been a little longer. Wyatt.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the match told its story.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
Yeah. So, go ahead and share your rating.
I'm gonna give it it's gonna be a high number, so let's give it, how about an 8?
An 8? All right.
I already
all right.
know how I'm gonna feel about Hell in a Cell tomorrow. It's definitely not gonna be a high number.
And you're coming on the recap episode.
Thinking about it. No promises though, but you might see me there, but you might see me not. But yeah, you
Kick off the outros.
Yeah, you do the outro.
No, you do the outro. You're the one who requested the show.
Thank you everyone for not watching an amazing episode of the Crash of another killer episode of the Crash and Burn Wrestling Podcast. You here see me and Jason, on a Saturday evening. Definitely check this out on Peacock. You can check out this pay-per-view on Peacock, or you can just order it off eBay and get it on a DVD.
Or if you still have the network, you can watch it there too. Well, if you're not from the U.S. or Canada.
Yes, the network. But yeah. Again, do what I told y'all. Please give everyone a follow button on the socials. Support independent wrestling, and feel free to check out any of our other episodes. Hope y'all enjoy Hell in a Cell, which is tomorrow night on Peacock. But if you don't live in the U.S., you can watch it on the WWE Network. But hope y'all enjoyed this episode, and Jason, I'll end it off.
Subscribe to Crash and Burn Moshcast and enjoy Hell in a Cell tomorrow. Stay tuned for our recap episode and for our next album reviews for the Moshcast. All right, keep moshing, keep crashing and burning, everybody. Rock on and have a good one. All right.
Crash and burn!